Hey there, YouTube land. Happy Hump Day, and thank you for joining me again as we explore a little bit further into the world of the martial art of marketing. I am not feeling too energetic right now. I'm usually not really rah here, as you can tell. But I just finished a 4.5 hour, almost 5 hour marathon kung fu practice, and I thought to myself, what's next? Oh, my video. So, sitting down for the first time in several hours and going over what I need to do the rest of the day now. I have a list, and I'm realizing I might not get to everything on my list today, so I'm going to have to pare it down. And that made me think of something that fits in with mind training, and we're still talking about mind training today, and that is focus. Everybody loves talking about focus. It's a buzzword. You got to focus on this. You got to focus on the other. No, you really need focus, right? Well, I need some focus today as far as my list, so I'm going to be paring down what actually needs to be done to be maximally efficient today. And that is maybe one definition or one particular discussion that we can have about focus. There's a popular statistic that 80% of the results that you get in any endeavor comes about as a result of focusing on 20% of any given array of activities. I think that's important to take a look at. We train in marketing or train in whatever, and there's a lot to train in. There's a lot to take a look at. There's a tidal wave of material sometimes that you get into. And it's really easy to sit down and just get lost in all the little knickknacks and all the different things that you can do. Every once in a while, I'll take a look at what I'm doing, and I'll be worried about, what picture am I going to select from my article here? I've got to select just the right picture that expresses exactly what I was talking about in the article, blah, 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 ad infinitum, ad nauseum. Pretty soon I find that 20 minutes have gone by, and I'm worried about pictures, and I kind of shake myself and think, well, what am I doing? This picture is not going to make or break what I'm doing with this article, with the purpose of the article. And that clarifies things for me. Sometimes I see people, and they'll talk to me about a logo that they're really excited about creating, and they're tinkering with it. And it's been a week. They're tinkering with this logo. And we talk about it, we come to the conclusion that, well, spending hours on that logo is not really doing a whole lot to further your purpose. You got to narrow the focus a little bit. So that's a way of approaching focus, yes. As focusing on what matters and what really is going to drive your business or your goal forward. Focus and concentration are two things that have been driven home to me, and like I do with everything else in life, relating it back to Kung Fu, I can tell you that I've been taught a number of drills and a number of different techniques for focus. And sometimes it's been simply sitting in front of a candle, staring unwaveringly at the candle, at the flame. Other times it's holding one particular posture, looking at one finger, holding that posture for 45 minutes, building focus and concentration that way. And I guess that's also one way to define focus, and that is your total concentration on an object or a group of objects or ideas to the exclusion of all else. But that brings me, I think, to a larger way of defining focus and discussing it. And here's where this is going to sound a little bit woo-woo, maybe a little bit out there, but I've seen it in my life. and I've tested it time and time again. Not the focus necessarily on one particular thing, but the focus on what your end goal and desire is. Why is that important? Because if we focus on what we desire and on what's good about what we desire, and we allow that to shift our way of feeling about things, things start to happen in our lives. If we're focusing on what's wrong with our lives, what's blocking us, what we don't want to have in our lives, pretty much as sure as night follows day, we get more of that, of what we don't want. If we shift the focus to what the end goal, the positive end goal is, what we truly desire and want, all of a sudden things almost magically start appearing in our lives that seem to support that goal and help us a little bit further towards the achievement of that goal. Some people call it the law of attraction. You can call it whatever you'd like, a rose by any other name. But although it sounds woo-woo, it sounds like we're getting metaphysical, it's actually very, very practical. So I guess a takeaway from this video today, as far as focus is, to experiment with that and try that in your life. Focus on what you desire, what makes you feel good about what you desire and what you envision, to the exclusion of all else. And leave aside what's wrong with your life, what you don't want, what you don't like. See what happens from there. It might really surprise you. I thought it was woo-woo. I thought it was weird. I started doing it years ago. Things started to change for me. And that, I think, is probably the greatest use of focus that you can find for yourself. So that's the purpose of talking about focus today. I want to make sure you know there's a purpose out there so that you can train with a purpose.